Hi everyone, my name is Jess, also known as Sketchwriter Jess on YouTube. Um, my channel is Jessica Hensley, but there's now a handle that says Sketchwriter Jess. So if you want to find me easier, just type in Sketchwriter Jess and my channel will come up. And no, I won't be wearing this. This is special for the Samhain reading. This is like a message from my ancestors to yours. I actually have a reading that I've been sitting on for about, I don't know, a month. I've had it like sitting in my drawer. I pulled the cards and I didn't know what I was going to do with the energy. And I feel like it's a true message of hope. Um, I've noticed that a lot of the channels have become very, very extremely negative. And I don't know if it's YouTube algorithm or if it's just like what YouTube thinks I want to see. But the channels have a lot of things about people being abused and being hurt and being ripped apart and being beaten and being, I mean, it's beyond anything I've experienced in a long time. I also want to say a special message too before I get started, because I do have these cards already pulled, so you don't have to worry about me shuffling. It takes me forever to shuffle usually. But I want to say that if you're somebody who is a tarot practitioner and you bash witchcraft, then you shouldn't be using tarot cards, because tarot was invented by witches. So we have witches to thank for tarot, and so if you're bashing witches constantly on your channel and saying that witchcraft is wrong and then making money from the tarot deck for your readings, then you're wrong. I just want to put that out there. I'm just saying it right now. Samhain is as good a time as any to say that. And now that little public service announcement is over, I'm going to get on with the reading, because this is actually a very hopeful message that I felt that I needed to share with all of you. It's for all of you, okay? It's for me as well, but it's for all of you, from my ancestors to you. And so I'm going to start with the tarot first. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is the Mystic Mondays deck. Nine of Pentacles. Six of Swords. Three of Wands. Seven of Cups. The Chariot. The Sun. And one more card that I pulled. Usually I only pull six. I pulled the seventh. The Six of Cups. Now I think I had pulled the Six of Cups to clarify the Seven of Cups. Or it's the other way around. The Seven of Cups is like the only energy on here that may be a little sketchy to some of you. I personally see the Seven of Cups as a possibilities card. I don't usually see it as a bad card, especially in this deck. Look how adorable all of these little drawings are. They're so nice. I just love this deck. It's so happy and so kind, and I really just love it. It's happy and kind and serious, and that's not an easy thing to do in a tarot deck. And I love her deck. Grace, that's her name. The person who created it, her name is Grace. I have let me see if I can find well, I don't remember her name. And I can't find my deck. My deck seems to have taken a walk. Well, I will post in the description who everybody is that I used, all the decks that I used. Next deck, Kyle Gray, Angel Prayers. So we have take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease, knowing you're here. Peaceful Warrior, Archangel Ariel. Thank you, Ariel, for helping me stand my ground with peace. I love these cards. And Spiritual Gifts, Archangel Raziel. Thank you, Raziel, for helping me channel my gifts and talents. So I think a lot of us in the collective right now are beginning to feel this feeling like, you know what, I don't want to be beat up anymore. I don't want people telling me I'm a big nothing anymore. And so I feel there's going to be a few of you in my collective perhaps who start to pull cards on your own and begin to see your true power. It is helpful to have other people's perspectives sometimes, but at some point you do have to start pulling on your own and seeing where you're at. Because sometimes, like what I think happens, especially in the YouTube algorithm, there tends to be something where there's like a specific topic that becomes a trend, and then maybe, I don't know if people are becoming more into like doing trends or what, but there tends to be like a topic that comes up, and it's like almost every reading has the same topic. I don't know if you've noticed that. And it's hard to find the ones that like I really want sometimes. Sometimes I just want regular spiritual guidance. Unfortunately, some of the people that I used to rely on for spiritual guidance I couldn't trust anymore. And so, I've been trying to find some new people, and I found some new people, but some of them really get wrapped up in like, oh, this person's jealous of you, this person's upset with you, this person's putting spells on you, this person's doing all this stuff to you. And there's nothing that you can do to somebody else that they haven't done to themselves. They're going to hurt themselves more than they're going to hurt you. So basically, as the Queen of Cups here, I'm just letting you know, like, be loving instead of being attacking. Like, if you do spell work, do like spells for you. I just did a video, I'm going to link it down below. It's a video about making your own sigils from tarot readings. And I wouldn't recommend you do it from like somebody else's tarot reading. I would recommend that you pull your own cards and make your own sigil. This particular reading so far, I feel like when I first pulled it, I didn't feel there was anything to transmute. Now, I have my Kabbalah cards, my handmade Kabbalah cards. We have knowledge, that's 0, it's Uranus energy. That goes with understanding, that's number 3 on the tree of life, it's Saturn. Then we have wisdom, which is Neptune energy. And we have connection, which is Venus. So I thought it was perfect. This was perfect. That's the pathway, the path work to do in this reading is connection. And I would say really what this reading means, it means that you have to connect with yourself in order to connect with other people. And if you feel like there's like things that don't apply to you, then you need to say it out loud. You need to say either like, or it did apply to you at one time, but it doesn't apply anymore. And you just say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to this anymore. And I really like don't want to like start saying things like, oh, you're not going to resonate with this one, and you're not going to like this one. No, I'm not going to do that. It's up to you to decide who to listen to, who not to listen to. Even with this reading, if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay. It's a collective reading, so it may not resonate with everybody. I have to say that legally. I can't be like saying that everybody's gonna get it. But what I like to say on my channel is like, either take it or leave it. Either take the whole message or leave the whole message. Don't like take pieces of it. I feel like this particular message is pretty nice happy message. And I was really blessed and honored to be able to bring this to you through my ancestors. My ancestors, I feel, were really upstanding people. They were really nice, kind, decent people, and they they encouraged me to get into Kabbalah again and try that. Um, I have a story they want me to tell you, and because this reading is pretty much over, so if you came here for the reading basically the takeaway is that you have the knowledge and understanding and wisdom to connect with others by connecting to yourself. You know, if you connect with yourself, like the cause of connecting with yourself is going to be like connecting with people on a level that is far better than you expected, because maybe, oh, one, maybe you don't put any more expectations out there, and two, you see yourself as good as other people. You see yourself as an equal, and sometimes you just have to do the work on your own to figure out that you're an equal. It's nice to have people out there who say people are equals, um, and I am one of those people. I'm included in that, but you really need to see yourself as an equal to other people before you like begin to put yourself out there, I think. And if you, this is one caveat, if you feel that you're not up to the par of others yet when it comes to like doing tarot and stuff like that and putting it out there, you might want to practice and practice and practice until you just feel like you're ready to let it all out. Now, I can't promise I'm going to dress up every time for a tarot reading, but I thought for Samhain I would dress up like the Queen of Hearts, so I did that. But basically, now it's story time. So if you've come for the reading, that was the reading. It's 12:21 in the clock. So you know, feel free to either click off or and have a nice day, or just stick around. So I have the story here, and they want me to tell you. Um, I was 12 years old when I wanted to do Kabbalah. My 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 inner 12-year-old had listened to Madonna. Madonna had just gone through this whole awakening with Jewish mysticism, and I tried to read about Kabbalah, and I couldn't do it because I was just too young. Um, if you know anything about Jewish Kabbalah, you can't um, you can't really do anything with Kabbalah until you're like in your 30s or 40s. So I didn't know any better, and you know, I just was like 12, and I tried to even read the first chapter, and I couldn't do it. Well, about 20 years later, I found the original book. Like, it wasn't like the book that I like gave away years ago, but it was like the original book. I found a used copy of it. It's called The Elements of Kabbalah. They're well perfect, but I also want to tell you I read In the Shadow of the Ladder by a man named An Intro to Kabbalah, a man by Rabbi Ashlag. So like, I've read both about the Jewish Kabbalah and the westernized Kabbalah, the Kabbalah, which is made by witches. And you know, I've brought it to this channel because I feel like Kabbalah is such an important part of tarot. And but you have to be careful, because like the original Jewish Kabbalah is really meant not for divination, but it's meant to learn the Bible, like the not the Christian Bible, but the Jewish Bible. And then like Christian Kabbalah is to learn the Christian part of the Bible. That's what the Christians developed the Christian Kabbalah for, and that one's spelled with a C. But you know, they want me to tell you about the story about how I had first started doing this with these cards, where I was like pulling the cards and then kind of like letting them sit for a while. I had this major synchronicity. I have a piece of furniture now. And the thing is that I had something else there before, and it just wasn't working. I had something else that wasn't working, and now I have something that is working. And what happened was, like, I thought, oh, I don't know if I can buy another piece of furniture. I don't know if I have the money for it. I don't know if I have it. Like, and then I realized, I was like, I have enough. I have enough of something. Because, like, I ended up, like, I was, like, walking around at the dollar store trying to figure out something to put together. And it would have been way more work to put together the thing at a dollar store. And, like, it may not have even been sturdy enough. It may have fallen apart. Because I would have used things that really weren't meant to be used in a shelf unit. And, like, my dollar store, I felt, didn't have a lot of the things that I had seen, like, on other channels and stuff on YouTube. Things that people were building were unbelievable. And I realized, I was like, I need a piece of furniture. And so I finally, like, found a piece of furniture, and I got the piece of furniture, and I'm really happy with it. I wish I could remember where I put everything. as, as I want to find the Mystic Mondays tarot. Let me see if I can find it in here. Oh, that's not it. Nope. I just wish I could remember her name. It's not fair that I remembered Kyle Gray and I can't think of her name right now. Oh, here it is. I found it. I'm still going to put them down there. Grace Duong. Okay, Grace Duong. Mystic Mondays Tarot. A Deck for the Modern Mystic by Grace Duong. Got 78 cards and a guidebook, and the guidebook is really good. Oops. Yeah, I'm putting it away. Okay, good. That makes me feel better. Alright, so, sorry about that. But I felt it was only fair. I talked about Kyle Gray, and I talked about Grace Duong. I knew it had a G name, but I knew her last name had a G name, but I couldn't remember the first part of the name. And I didn't want to spell it wrong or say it wrong or anything. I feel so much better now. And I feel like that synchronicity, like, the story is really about hope. I felt like I had no hope. Like, I was doing this tarot reading, the one that I did for my other video with the sigil. And it was a special ancestor reading, and like that video was really different because it had energy that needed to be transmuted. And that's what I'm going to do from now on, that when there's something like that and I feel it's meant for the collective too, I will do a sigil and it'll transmute things. Hopefully transmute things for the better. But I know it's transmuted things for my best interests. I don't know what it's doing for any of you in my collective. I know I've gotten some likes on the video, so I know some people liked the video. I got like a bunch of likes like on Facebook and stuff. On YouTube, it's kind of hard to tell. But anyways, basically, just when you think all hope is lost, it's like sometimes, like I would say even with money, like you never know what you can find, like at a place like TJ Maxx. Like I had this feeling, I was like, I need a piece of furniture that maybe has a chip in it. That maybe has something wrong, like that I know I'm going to be able to afford. But like it needs to be something that's not structural. And sure enough, like I found a piece and it had a chip. And like I couldn't believe I found what I needed. And I was so elated because it was like, it had been 2 years since my grandmother died. And it was almost like she gave me a birthday present. And like that's the kind of stuff that people need to look out for. That your ancestors are communicating with you more often than you think. Your ancestors are with you day in, day out, especially in times of trouble. And they're with me a lot. Um, I have a lot of challenges. But you know what? They're with my cousins a lot too. They're with my family a lot. They they're with them a lot, and they're with everybody. And your ancestors are with you. And when you're like not having as many challenges, they're gonna kind of like hang back and let you fly a little bit. But when you have more challenges, they'll be there to really be there and like try to guide you. And like tarot and oracle are a nice way to break through and like discuss things with them, commune with them. Um, and then the sigil drawing, like if you're a witch, the sigil drawing is really a nice way to kind of like transmute some things that you see coming that you're like, oh, I don't know about this, but it's like I know what I want. So you draw the things that you want. You draw the things that you want to attract into your life, and like it's all about you and not about bending other people's will. In my world, like this is what I do on my channel. Like everything I try to do, I used to do the energy balancing stuff, and then I realized, maybe doing magic on behalf of the collective in that way isn't such a great idea. Even though I was doing like health kind of spells, they tended to be for people who had like disabilities and stuff, and like not like curing disabilities, but just kind of like accepting and tolerating your disability, accepting who you are as somebody with a disability. But I realized I didn't want to really go down that path anymore. That this thing with the sigils is really special. And like I feel like this reading came about right after that sigil. And this reading has nothing that needs to be transmuted. It's like really all that needs to be done is maybe a prayer. So if you stuck around this long, what I'm going to do is a channel message. Now I know there are the people who may be upset I did the reading and they didn't get a channel message. But frankly, on this channel I talk. And I like to talk, and I feel like it's the right thing to do. And if you aren't into stories, then this channel may not be for you. So I'm going to do a channel message now. I'm doing it in my left hand. I have a ring that has a pearl on it, and hematite as well, and then an amethyst crystal here. And I'm going to close my eyes, and you're welcome to either close your eyes or not close your eyes. It's up to you, whatever's most comfortable. I'm going to start now. I'm going to get a channel message from my grandma. I don't want to say a name because there's some frenemies I got, and they are like digging around and stuff. But I really want to honor her and say what her name is. So I'm going to, because you know what? Her name is right here on this plaque. It's right here on this artwork that she made. Her name was Hildy. My grandma Hildy. My grandma Hildy is going to offer a message for all of us. So whoever my frenemies are, you know what? You can't touch me, and you can't can't hurt anybody in my ancestor line. All right. So I will offer you a message from my grandma Hildy. Everyone needs to make sure that they stay on track. Make sure that you stick to your tasks and your goals at hand. Make sure that if you have a goal, that you set up multiple tasks to complete the goal. When you deliver your messages, be kind most of all. But also be sure to give practical advice too. Don't just leave people hanging. It's okay to let loose a little bit and have fun. It's okay to goof off a little bit, but also remember that people are trying their best to keep their head above water these days. And so we also need to be serious too. Be careful of everyone who tells you that you're weak. If anybody tells you you're weak, they're trying to keep you in a place of sadness so that they can boost you. And they're going to keep dragging you until you feel like you're better. You don't need that. Yes, life is tough, but it's not tough 24/7 for most. It's okay to understand that life isn't tough 24/7 for you. It doesn't have to be tough 24/7 for anybody. Even having a minute or so of play can do wonders for your brain and your heart and your mind and your soul. Be careful what you absorb these days, everybody. Be careful. Be careful what you listen to day in, day out. Be careful of the people who tell you things in a nice way and then are mean to you all of a sudden. That's a red flag that that person has some issues. Stay on course, everybody. Thank you for listening to my granddaughter, Jess. All right, thank you, Hildy. I'm like so happy that I like said her name out loud, because I was like taking in everything that people say about, oh, people are doing things and they're hurting you and they're doing all these things, and no, there's nothing that anybody can do that can hurt me or my ancestor line. And the same goes for you too. If you begin to develop a healthier sense of self, you're not going to have that problem. So I'm going to put this back. So any final words? Well, I'd say that I want to bring positivity to this channel. I want to be a shining light. I've been called Earth Angel by a person who I trusted that actually really did it just to kind of like butter me up and string me along and then kind of hurt me along the way. And Earth Angel isn't a term of endearment. It's kind of like something that you earn. And people need to be careful when they start throwing that term around. And because Earth Angel is actually a very serious term. If somebody's an Earth Angel, and you're an Earth Angel if like somebody in your life calls you a real, like a family member or like a dear friend that you're not paying to talk to calls you an angel, then you're probably an Earth Angel. You're an angel because you've put up with things that most people wouldn't put up with. You've dealt with things that most people can't even imagine the pain of dealing with. Mental pain tends to be mostly like mental pain. Most earth angels have some sort of mental illness or something. They have some kind of illness. That's just what I picked up. That's what I understand. So, like, when people throw around Earth Angel, not everybody has a mental illness. I'm not saying all Earth Angels have a mental illness, but enough of them do. And when they get abused, they don't take kindly to it. And they fight back. Now, just because somebody hurts an Earth Angel doesn't mean all this bad stuff is going to happen to them. What's going to happen is they'll learn something. Because the Earth Angel said something. The Earth Angel isn't just a little wimp. And, as, like, I guess what I would call an Earth Angel, I'm not a wimp. I don't take kindly to bullies, and I've had enough bullying in my life that I won't put up with it anymore. And so, that's how I feel about that. So, my final words to you are, like, if you are an Earth Angel, or even if you're not, even if you identify as another label or no label at all, just know that everybody's doing their best, trying to have a good life and have a fun life, and they want to feel good about themselves. And if you feel that way, if you feel you want to feel good about yourself, then expose yourself to things that make you feel good. Exposing yourself constantly to things that are telling you you were abused, you were hurt, you were in pain is not helpful always. It's sometimes helpful to have a little bit of that, because sometimes it's like somebody's confirming, oh yeah, I know you went through that. But after a while, if there's like a lot of it, well, it doesn't mean that you didn't work on it. It just means that obviously there's something somewhere in the psyche or somewhere in the consciousness. People are all at the same time kind of realizing they don't want to be abused anymore. They don't want to be hurt, and they're trying to figure out how to get out of it. And so, like, it's all piling on. I think that's what's happening. I think there's like a collective wake-up call to the collective. But one thing, like, you also need to do is be grateful for what you have. I know it hurts because a lot of times maybe it feels like you don't have enough. And it's like there are times when I have to really push myself to be grateful for things. But I'll tell you, the day when I was walking around looking at dollar store, looking for like pizza pans and like, like rolling pins and stuff to build something with, when like I know it could crash. When I was able to buy something for a couple dollars more at the TJ Maxx that was already put together, it just had a little chip in it. It's like that's the kind of thinking that you need to have. It's like you probably may always have just enough to buy like the one thing that you need, whether it's like a piece of furniture or a piece of bread. You'll always have that little bit left if you save up at the end of the month. And like I always like make sure I save up like a little bit, that I have a tiny little bit, because I know sometimes I have expenses that come out and stuff, and I have to just make sure that I have at least $4 in my bank account, or else it's gonna go. So it's not perfect, but it works. And I'm getting better at like spending my money and not buying things I don't need and stuff like that. Buying things that I truly want to have for my own love and passion. And I used to like buy like a ton of stuff that like I didn't need. I used to buy a lot of things to fill myself up with joy. And it turns out that like you can't always find the joy outside of yourself. Sometimes you have to find it within. I know that's frustrating to hear. I know a lot of you are probably like really frustrated about hearing that. Hey, I'm like frustrated saying it, but it's true because sometimes like I've had all the like enjoyable things, at my doorstep, whatever. I've had all of the wonderful, enjoyable activities of like knitting, crocheting, drawing, things like that, and some days I'm still not happy. But sometimes it's just being within, just like maybe finding something within where I'm like, like the thing that maybe makes me happy today is just a song. Like maybe listening to a song, which I don't usually allow myself to do because it triggers me. Because of my mental illness, I have a history with music that's really, really checkered. And I have a hard time with music. So, like, a lot of times I have to listen to, like, frequency music and stuff like that. And I'm going to be putting these all away now. But I hope this message helps you. I hope it gives you some hope. Truly, that's what I want, is for the collective to have some hope. And I know as a witch that when I do my magic doesn't cause the whirlwind drama. It doesn't cause it. I'm not a chaos witch at all. I'm somebody who hates chaos. So every magic spell I do is for peaceful intentions. Now, sometimes I will say that, like, if you do a magic spell, sometimes you yourself, if you're doing it for yourself, you may have to go through a little bit of chaos on your own. If you do anything that, like, I prescribe, because sometimes you have to transform. But other than that, even that transformation, like if you choose to accept any of my spells or anything, like any kind of like work that I put out there, it's meant to be something that is logical and helpful and not hurtful. It's just like meant to maybe have a little discomfort here and there just for transformational purposes. I think that's just a normal magical process. And I think there's a lot of people on YouTube, tarot readers, that don't understand witches and they don't understand witchcraft, and they're really doing a disservice to people by telling people that all witches are bad and witches are out to get them and witches are out to hurt them. And like, yes, I have a witch frenemy. That's a problem. But she's actually kind of dimmed a little bit. And she will dim. She'll continue to dim because I don't allow her to attack me anymore. Like, I realized where the problem lied. I realized where the problem was. And once I realized where the problem was, I faced it head on and I nipped it in the bud. And I realized like what the actual problem was. And I said, it's not going to affect me anymore now. I just kind of see her as more like a lesson. Like she was just somebody that was giving me some sort of lesson. It's like, I don't want to go as far as say it's like a blessing in disguise to have somebody doing spells against you. It's not. It's not a blessing, but I will say it's a lesson. And if you can see the lesson, if it's actually affecting you, you can fix the problem and then like move on from it. And then when they keep doing it, it just bounces right back off because you fixed the problem. And that's like what people have to do with jealousy too. If somebody says they're jealous of you out loud or on a blog post, I've actually done that. I've been jealous of people. Most jealous people are not wanting you to have a downfall. They're like wanting to figure out how to make their lives better, and they just don't know how, and so it comes out in that way. And it's not meant as an attack, and it's not meant as something to hurt other people. And so I would say if somebody says they're jealous of you, don't worry about it. Just focus on yourself and focus on your own abilities. And if the person is constantly saying they're jealous of you, well, then you just say to them, hey, man, like, go work on yourself. Like, really, that's it. Just be like, just go work. on yourself, you know? Just work on yourself. Work on your craft. Work on your job. Work on your friendships. Work on your relationships. Whatever it is that you're so jealous of. I mean, I don't go around saying it. It's just that I had like this influx of like friends and family. All of a sudden, they had all these amazing, wonderful things going on in their lives, and I felt like I was really left out. And I wrote a blog post. I was in a mental illness haze, and I wrote a blog post about how jealous I was, and I'm just so jealous of everybody. But I didn't mean that like I wanted their downfall. It's just so silly. I wish people would stop worrying about other people being jealous. I'm not jealous anymore. I'm not jealous, but I have a feeling that some of the people in my life still think I am because I never took the blog post down. Well, that blog post is not a reflection on them. It's a reflection on me, and it's meant to stay up there because it shows my mental state at the time. It's like a record for me. It helps me remember, hey, don't act like that. You know, that's why it's there. And it's kind of like people can either like see it and go, oh yeah, I resonate with that, or they can say, oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. But that's the thing, you know, I think that people need to do is kind of get out of your own head and stop thinking like everybody's out to attack you. We live in a world where it just does seem that way, doesn't it? But that's because people are creating content that's saying that. And yeah, it may be the energy right now that there's like energy swirling and attacking, and but the truth is, as if you just remember everything I said here, then you know, then you'll be fine. Now I don't know when the next time is I'll come out with another video. I'm hoping to post more videos like at least like once every 2 weeks, I think. I know the algorithm, like I know they really favor people posting every day and all that. I just don't have the physical energy right now. There's some personal issues going on. One of the medicines I take is just causing major tiredness in me, and I have to find out what to do about that. But I'm already on my way to figuring some of it out. So luckily, you know, I'm figuring some of it out. So that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this is like something that you can take with you and like really keep in your heart. Just know that you're a powerful soul. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me, but also just thank you for being alive. Thank you for staying. Thank you for being in this life. Thank you for being here.